All right, everyone. Welcome today to this free webinar. I am Tracy D. Armstrong with Motivational Moments, and we are here today because we want to end 2024 strong and start 2025 ready to thrive. So, before I get going and I tell you a little bit more about myself, let me know who I have in the audience. Go ahead and drop your information. Give me your name, maybe your email so I can make sure I send you this free gift because there is a free gift that's going to be given out to everyone in attendance today. And this gift is going to help you start your year off strong. So let's see. Looking at the chat. Yes, welcome, welcome.
It takes me a long time to type.
No problem at all. Got you. Now, let me stop sharing and show my beautiful, lovely face. So, first of all, thank you. Looks like we have Miss Dion in the house.
Yes,
Looks like we
ma'am.
have Grace in the house. Thank you so much. And I know we have others that are planning on joining. So, I just want to tell y'all this. I was thinking about how did I get all the things done that I strived for the past couple of years. I really sat back because what I do at the end of every year, I review my goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I look to see what did I achieve, what didn't I achieve, what could I do differently. And I started thinking back. You know how you look back over your life and you think things over. I can truly say, some of y'all can finish that I've been blessed. I got a testimony. And as I was looking, I was like, Tracy, you have done a lot. And I just wrote down because I was doing the 56-day journey in October. And with that journey, every day we had an action step. So as I wrote down some of the things that I've accomplished and I've achieved, I'm not here to brag or to boast today, but I'm here to say testimony. And I asked myself this. I said, Tracy, because I talked to myself. I said, what is it that you did to get to the things that you accomplished? And just to go back, so in 2022, I started my first podcast, What's Your Mess? And that was something I had talked about doing back in 2020. So I finally started in 2022. That was one thing I had put on my vision board, and I was like, check, got that done. And then I said, okay, I wrote two books. I wrote a book in 2022. It got published in 2023. I wrote another book in 23, an ebook, and it was released and published in 2024. And I'm like, okay, wow, you're author, you're a podcast host. I wanted to kind of shift gears so I was not just speaking in the classroom and motivating. I also wanted to be more of a professional speaker. And so within the past couple of years, I started doing professional speaking. And like this year, I got hired to speak at some big conferences and some major conventions. And I spoke at Success Fest, and like I'm getting invites. I spoke at a women empowerment. All of that being said, I said, what is it that got you to where you are? And that's what I want to talk to everybody tonight about. I want to talk about what mindset did I have that I had to have in order to achieve the goals and the dreams and the visions that I had for my life. Because the first thing, and I'm going to start with the first thing with your mindset is not focusing on all the bad things. See, a lot of times we focus on the things that have gone wrong. A lot of times we think about, oh, well, I failed at this business or I failed at that, or I didn't even try to write a book because I failed at starting my first chapter. But instead of focusing on the what we didn't do or what we didn't achieve, first thing I want to talk about today is celebrating your wins, okay? And let's talk about it. Let's talk about celebrating the wins in your life. What I want you to do first thing is write down 3 things that you can say you've achieved this year. Now, I know for some of you, it's going to be a little challenging because you feel like you haven't really achieved anything. But think about it. It could be a small win. It could be the fact that you made it to December of 2024. That is a win because guess what? Some people did not make it to December of 2024. So let's celebrate these wins. Let's reflect because it's not just about celebrating the success. What have you learned? That could be something you write down. What is something that you learned in 2024? Where did you grow? You might have felt stuck in some areas. You might have felt like, you were trying to achieve something and you just really felt stuck and you overcame being stuck. What obstacles? So, write down 3 things, 3 successes from 2024, and let's take a minute to just self reflect. And then I want you to do this. I want you to take your hand, and this webinar is not just me talking. It's you interacting also, and it's me. Because the more
I
you participate,
awesome.
yes.
I think that Grace might not be able to, but she told me to say, "Watch out now," to you when you started talking about all the things that we've accomplished. She texted me, and I was like, "Oh," and I didn't want to stop you, so I was like, "All right, I'll get in there."
Yes, no problem. Thank you. Yes, and feel free to jump in whenever. But what I want you to do, even okay, if you can't do it now, before you go to bed tonight, I want you to take your hand, put it in the air, bend it behind your back. And I want you to pat yourself on the back because you've made it to the end of 2024. I know we still have about 20 days left, but you could you could have been dead and gone already. But the fact that you are here now, the fact that you made it onto this webinar, pat yourself on the back because I'm sure you could have been anywhere. But you decided to invest your time in yourself. So, self reflect. Now, the second thing, let's talk about our mindsets. Now, when it comes to resetting your mindset, you have to ask yourself, what is your mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset? That fixed mindset, it keeps you in your comfort zone. I'm going somewhere here, okay? A fixed mindset is going to keep you in your comfort zone and it's going to keep you thinking and doing the same old things you've done, or it's going to stop you from doing things that you could do. And for whatever the reasons are, which we're going to talk about, whatever the reasons are, your fixed mindset, it came from somewhere. So the goal is we want to take that fixed mindset and we want to turn it into a growth mindset. Because a growth mindset for 2025 is going to prepare you to tackle every opportunity, any obstacles, and a growth mindset is going to take you to the next level. Ask yourself this: what's one limiting belief that is holding you back? What's something that when you think about it, it kind of keeps you from moving forward? It keeps you from going after those dreams. Because today, we're going to replace those beliefs with some empowering thoughts that fuel your growth. Now, I'm going to pause right there because I really want y'all to think about this. And this is some of the things that I was thinking about. Because, first question, what is your mindset? Is it fixed or is it growth? Now, next question. Do you believe? Do you believe that with God, nothing is impossible?
Absolutely nothing.
Because if you believe that nothing is impossible, what's stopping you from going after your dreams and your goals? Because if you believe that with God all things are possible, then that means that every dream and every goal that you desire to achieve is possible. Then ask yourself this: if you say you believe, why don't you really believe? Why don't you believe that you can achieve those goals? Why don't you believe that you can have that company or that business? Like, this is what I really want you to think about. What is it that causes you to stop and say, "Oh, but what if it doesn't work? I thought you believed in God." Oh yeah. Oh, but what if it fails? But what if it doesn't? You say, and I'm not let me make sure I don't step on any toes because I'm not trying to offend anybody. But what I am saying is a lot of times we say that we have faith, right? And we say that we believe in a God that can do all things, that, God where nothing is impossible. But then when it comes to us doing things and stepping out and going after those dreams, we stop and we say, oh no, oh, I can't do that. God, like, is that really for me, God? And I know it's all up here. It's all in our mindsets. Now, you have to be faithful to what you have heard. And I'm going to pause because some of you have heard in your spirits, and I believe that everybody has a spirit in your consciousness. Your conscious talks to you and speaks to you and tells you things. Now, whether you listen, that's one thing. But then the thing is, sometimes we hear it and then we don't believe that we can do it, or we don't believe that it's for us because we have a fixed mindset in certain areas, in certain things of our life. So today, I am going to give you 3 strategies to strengthen our mindsets. So don't think I'm just gonna come in and step on everybody's toes and then leave you like that. All right, stay with me, okay? Because I want you first to think about, are you not believing in yourself? Are you thinking it's because you don't know how to do something? Or do you feel like, you have limited resources? Because let me tell you, when I started my first business in 2016, I did not know how to start a full fledged business. But guess what I did? I stepped out on faith, and my spirit told me that if you take one step, I'll take two. And that's what I stepped out on. I did not have the resources. So, guess what? I started in a park. Yes, my first business was started in a park. It was a cheer coaching business. And I was teaching athletes how to tumble. And the parents were paying me to teach them how to tumble. And some people say, oh, that was just a side gig. No, 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 no. It was an official business. It was licensed in the state of Texas and everything in a park. So when you say you don't know how, and when you say you have the limited resources, I want you to realize this. Once you start stepping in the direction you were already told to go, the resources will show up and so will the directions. And I tell you that not just to be pulling something out the air, a cliche, because I did it. I didn't know how to start a podcast. I didn't, first of all, I didn't know what a god doggone podcast was. One of my students told me, hey, Miss, you should start a podcast. I was like, what's a podcast? And then guess what I did? I took the time and invested in myself to research, to find out more about it. And I said, okay, this is something that I can learn how to do. If you go back to my old podcast, baby, my background is all messed up, the volume is off, but guess what? I'm 2 seasons in with over 50 episodes now. And I interview people from all over the world this year. And when I say all over the world, I mean all over the world. So I want you to remember this. Don't let not knowing stop you from going. Let me write that down. That just came to my spirit. Let me write that down. Don't let not knowing stop you from going. Because I know if you're like me, you were brought up and you were taught if you don't know how to do it, don't even do it. Don't even try. If you don't know that you're going to get it for sure, don't even try. That is parents out there, don't do that to your children. And I'm saying that because that stops your children from going after those dreams because you're not going to know the end until you begin. That's another good one. But in order to know the end, you have to begin. And that was a big thing that I was really bad at. I was like, I need to know every step. I need to know A through Z, one, two, and three. And if I don't know it all and I can't see it, then I'm not going to do it. But my mentor told me, hey, all you need is 2% of the information. I was like, oh, 2%? No, that's not enough. Oh, no, no, no. He said, 2% to start. Once you start, more will come. And that is exactly what has happened to me. And that is one reason why I have achieved some of the goals that I have. Because look, your mindset determines your future. What you think about yourself determines your future. So let's talk about that. If you don't believe you can do it, you won't even try. So let's talk about some ways to changing your beliefs. First, I want you to remember this, and this is a scripture. And I read this scripture and I was like, ooh, I need to make sure I pin that in my brain. The scripture is be anxious for nothing. Be anxious for nothing. Because what I realized is anxiety, that fear of not knowing, that anxiousness stops us from going. And when I say going, I'm saying going to the next level, going to that next step, starting whatever we want to start. So, first thing with your mindset, be anxious for nothing. That means in all things, have courage and knowing that everything is going to work out for the good and knowing that all things are going to work for your good. So when we anxious about, okay, I don't know if it's going to work. Guess what? I've tried some things and it did not work. However, it wasn't that it didn't work. It was that I learned that I needed to do it a little differently. So doing it that way, somebody needed to hear this. Wait a minute. Let me rewind. My mentor says, rewind, press play, right? Here we go. You may have tried something before and it didn't work out. It might be that it just didn't work out the way you were doing it. That doesn't mean that you needed to stop doing it. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work out whatsoever. That means that you may just need to try a different way of doing it in order to get the results that you desire. So I'll pause right there because I want you to know if you're the person like I used to be, and you are the one, are you, and you're like, I need to know everything before I move, ask yourself again, do you really believe? Because if you really believe, then you're not going to need to know all the steps because that's where belief and faith comes in. That comes in where you're starting to step without knowing all the steps. How can you say you have faith when you won't even step? I'm sorry. I don't know if I don't mean to hurt nobody's feelings tonight, but I'm just really, really wanting you to change your mindset because this, I told y'all, I've been talking to people and I really, some people's mindsets have been so stuck and they don't know which way to go and they don't know how to change. I just really want us to wake up and to realize it's we waited too long to achieve our dreams. We waited too long. We put our dreams off. We put our goals off for way too long because our mindset hasn't been in growth mindset. We haven't been focused on putting those doubts behind. That's another scripture. It doesn't say help my belief. It says, Lord, help my unbelief. So God know you're gonna have some unbelief. That's where your mindset has to have an adjustment. And if you are a type of person, if you're worried or you're anxious of how you're gonna look or how you're gonna be judged if you do step out, listen, this is what I tell my students. If you're worrying about what people are gonna say, if you're worrying about what people are gonna think, you'll never be you because you're always going to be who you think other people want you to be. It is time to end 2024 strong. And you can end 2024 by just getting a plan together for how you want to start your 2025. It's today, tonight, you have actually taken one of the first steps of changing and growing your mindset. Now, let's talk about how we start, okay? Now, I got you. I told y'all I was here to help you. I'm not just here to step on your toes. Here we go. How to start. Get your pencils ready or your pens ready. First, ask yourself this: why don't you believe? And where did this disbelief come from? Because once you realize, why don't you believe? Okay, let's just think of some. I don't believe because I failed before. I don't believe, or I don't believe in myself. It came from people talked about me before. I want to make sure, that's one right there. Like, I want to make sure that this is the direction I should be. That was me one time too. I want to make sure that I'm supposed to be going into professional speaking and not just teaching. But guess what? How do you know if it's for sure unless you try? And then once you try, and if you realize, this isn't really necessarily what I want, then you can, hey, guess what? Life is all about change. You can change. You can change your career. You can change your direction. You can change your goals. And then guess what? You'll find the direction that is for you. You will find your path. But if you never pick a path, then you're just standing still. That's what people, we're going to talk about goals in a little bit. But what I tell students is if you don't have any goals in life, then you have no direction. Like, where are you going? You're going nowhere. It's like if I have a goal to get from here to the door, I know I'm going to go that way. But if I'm like, oh, I have no goal, then that's nothing. We're going to get there. But again, anytime you start doubting yourself, this is how you start believing. You ask yourself again, do you have faith in God, the universe, source, yourself? Because if you do, then you should be moving. So when you question what your beliefs are, always ask yourself that. Because this is what I used to do. I still do it. And I say this: do you trust God or not? Like, if you trust, and this is for everybody. I'm not trying to just make this a religious webinar. This isn't about religion. This is about your mindset. And if you are someone that said, we talked at the beginning, when we opened up, we talked about belief. Do you believe that the universe works where, give and take? Whatever you believe, do you truly believe? Because if you truly believe, then start moving. All right. Now, next thing, what do you want to believe in? Now, let me help you. When I say, what do you want to believe in? Do you want to believe in source? Do you want to believe in yourself? Do you want to believe in the world? Like, where do you want your belief to go? And be specific, because this is something that I know that I'm vague in my request. And being specific is so important. Okay. Now, here are your steps. And I said three. However, when you start going, sometimes you come up with more. So here's my three steps and the three strategies to strengthen your mindset. First, affirm yourself. This is something you do to build faith in yourself. If you want to believe more in yourself, if you want to believe more in your own abilities, if you want to believe in, I got this, I can do this, I can step out, faith over fear. If you want to really believe, affirm yourself. That means speak highly of yourself, speak better to yourself. You will hear people say, be kind to yourself. Like, I know I'm one of my biggest critics. I'm one of my biggest critics. I will say, "Oh, girl, you need to change that outfit," or "Oh, is your hair all right?" I don't know about that. I am. However, I know also that I say, "Oh, girl, you look good today," like for real. Or I'll say, "You know what? You so smart." Like, and people used to say, "Oh, you're so vain," or "You're conceited." No, 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 no. That is not vain, and that is not conceited. Speaking highly of yourself motivates yourself. Affirming yourself is what will build your faith in yourself. Now, what I do to affirm myself, and this is what I want you to do. I want you to write down your things that you want to improve about yourself. Now, and I'm not saying to criticize yourself. This is what I'm saying. What do you want to be better in your life? What do you want to improve your beliefs in? For instance, if you don't believe that you're beautiful, let's say if you think you're unattractive, but you really want to believe that you're attractive, you would write down, I am beautiful, I am attractive. What do you want from that? Do you want all the people to turn and look at you and be like, oh girl, you look good? What do you want? You write it down, but don't just write it down. Because what I have, and I should take y'all through on a tour throughout the house so you could actually see that I do this. You take these, and I have index cards. I wrote them on index cards. Now here's your steps. I can't just tell you what to do without telling you how to do it. I got you. So you write down what you is that a question? Okay. No. All right, jump in whenever. Here we go. Whatever it is, if you say, I am wealthy. If you want more money, I am wealthy. I am whatever it is. I am fill in the blank. But you tape it or you put it in places that you are going to regularly look at. So for me, I have an index card in my restroom because I go to the restroom every morning. It's on the mirror. Have one there. And then I have one on my refrigerator. You go in the refrigerator. So on my refrigerator, there's another index card taped there. Um, have another one taped like on the light switch. Like when you flip the lights, there's one there because when I turn on the light, I think it says something like I am the light of the world or I shine my light bright. Something like that because that's what I want to do. I want to be light to others. So I'm affirming that I am light already. So affirm what you I'm glad I just said that. Because sometimes we don't think we're there and we don't think we already are doing that. And literally, I just said, I have an affirmation that says, it says, I am a light to others. And that was an affirmation that I put up, man, probably a couple of years ago. And sometimes you don't realize you're already walking in your manifestation until you actually pause and take the time to look back and see I am already light to others because I'm what I tell y'all at the beginning, because I am sharing my testimony because I am a testimony, and I don't want others to still continue to struggle on how to get to the places and dreams that they want. I want to be a light to shed that light on you all so you can see how to change your mindset. Now, the second thing, because the more you see it, the more you believe it. And don't forget, you stay till the end. I have a free gift for everybody that's on today. Okay, so here we go. We're on the second one. We're on the second one. Acknowledge your fears. Okay, that doesn't mean acknowledge and just sit in it. No, no, no. Don't think of your fears and then stay there. No, no. Acknowledge your fears, your worries, and your disbeliefs. And that's we started doing that when I said write down three things that are limiting your belief. So that's the same thing. You write down three things that you fear. Like, do you fear failing? Do you fear being judged? Do you fear what people are going to think about you if you step out? Do you fear do you fear your family not understanding? You know, because sometimes we don't do things because the people we love, we don't believe will understand. Okay, I feel like my spirit's telling me to stay there for a minute. Let me tell you, and my mom already knows and she watches, hey. But my mom and myself, my mom and I, got to get right because I am an English teacher. So my mom and I did not and do not see eye to eye on a lot of things, especially when it comes to, you know, the way we think. Our mindsets are different in a lot of ways. And I just, so many years, I try to change her mindset, change her mindset. And me trying to change her mindset caused us to bump heads a lot. But I had to realize, and this was 2023. We've been doing good to 2020. 2023 was I had to accept the fact that, you know, she's going to be her. All I can do is plant the seed. If the seed gets watered when we talk, great. But if it doesn't, I have planted the seed. But I cannot stop my mindset from growing and developing because other people do not understand it. So I want to say this because if you have family that have fixed mindsets, it is a challenge, especially if we're trying to get them to see the same mindset. No, what you do is you let your mindset grow because your mindset growing is going to open up opportunities, open up doors that that you may have had closed, but now you have a new mindset. You're seeing things differently that they still may not see. You have to make sure that you take care of you, and that's not being selfish. That's not being whatever other words you want to call it. Um, but if you don't take care of you, who else is going to take care of you? And then you keep planting the seed so that maybe one day their mindsets will start to shift. I know my mom's, her mindset shifts a little bit more and a little bit more the more we talk. And me not judging her anymore and me not trying to make her see. That's what some people do. We try to make the other people see our way and then we get upset when they don't. Stop, because the only thing you're doing is worrying yourself and causing yourself more stress. Oh, but let me keep going. Let me get off of that. Let me get off of that. So that was number two. Number two was you write down and acknowledge the things that you fear, but you don't just keep that. You take that, you ball it up. Anytime, and I keep, and I'll show y'all. I have this little notebook that's in my purse. I have this notebook that I have. I have a composition book. And I do keep I carry a bag, okay? At any time a fear or something comes up, write it down, but don't just write it down. Ball it up, write down your fear. Ball it up, throw it in the trash. Okay. because you're acknowledging this is something that I fear. This is something that has held me back. And this fear no longer serves me. Remember, I'm helping you strengthen your mindset. And these are some action steps you can take. You acknowledge that disbelief. I don't believe, somebody could say, I don't believe I can be a multimillionaire. I'm gonna write that down. I don't believe I can be a multimillionaire. Ball it up. Oh yes. I believe I can be a multimillionaire and I will be. And that will be an affirmation I write down. Then I'm gonna throw away the disbelief. Okay. Now, third one. Here we go. You ready? Third strategy. Advance past adversity. All right. So the first thing is affirm yourself, build yourself up. Second thing is acknowledge your fears, your disbeliefs, get rid of them. Third thing is you got to advance past adversity. People will talk, people will judge. No matter if you're doing good or if you're doing bad, somebody is going to have something to say. So you might as well do good and let them talk about the good that you're doing. I'm just saying. So keep going and stop worrying about what you think people are going to say. Now, how do you do that? Let me tell you. Everybody, before you go into 2025, you need to check. Mentor says, check your harvest. You need to check your circle. Check your circle, the circle of people who you surround yourself with. Are you surrounding yourself with people who are advancing themselves because they also have growth mindsets? Or do you surround yourself with people who have fixed mindsets that will keep you thinking in a fixed mindset way? Or when you do start to think, I can do this, I can achieve this goal, and they come back and say, girl, I don't even know why you were trying to do that. 100 people, 100 professional speakers out there still trying to get on stage. Girl, it's 1,000 podcasts out there. What makes your podcast so much better? People, I'm laughing because those are real things that people have said to me. Okay. And I have to press past adversity. Adversity is going to come, persecution is going to come. But this is how you advance. After you check your circle, look, you have 20 days to check your circle before you go into 2025. Because some of those friends, some of those family members, you may need to love from a distance. I love you, girl, but nah, I can't kick it with you anymore like that next year because, oh, why? Because, I'm trying to strengthen my mindset and y'all only talking about old stuff. That's one thing. Let's talk about all the old stuff, what we used to do. No, 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 no. Let's talk real estate. Let's talk how we're gonna buy these fourplexes. Let's talk about how we're gonna make this money. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. That's what happens when your mindset shifts. Now, let me tell you how to do it. I don't want to just throw stuff out and I tell you how to advance. First thing, every morning, meditate. Find at least 5 minutes. When you get up in the morning to take a shower or to brush your teeth or whatever you do when you are alone, 5 minutes. And that doesn't mean you have to sit or longer. You can go longer. But I'm saying for those that need to start some new things in 2025, meditate, put on some music, put on some motivational words of encouragement, and then actually really listen to it. Let it soothe you. Let it get into your spirit. Let it start your day off right. So I'm a teacher. So when I go to school, when I meditate in the morning, whatever song um, I was playing. I don't want to be promoting people, however, but I was playing some Ty Tribbett, right? And Ty Tribbett and the playlist, and it just go back to back to back the entire time I'm getting ready. And so when I get to work and I have students that may not be how should I say, ready and prepared to work yet. Or they might want to be challenging in the morning or throughout the day, that meditation comes back to my mind. It'll be like, okay, victory, victory. Hey, God is bigger. The meditation, the music, the song will come back to your mind, and then you'll say, oh, you know what? I tell myself that you sure right. You sure right. This ain't nothing. I got this. So every morning, meditate. Okay. Then, secondly, motivate yourself. Now, how do you motivate yourself? That's where the affirmations come in. So you're meditating, and then when you motivate yourself, you're saying, okay, Tracy, you are amazing. You are. And I have quotes. I have some other quotes that I've written down, like failure is not an option. Someone, I was listening to someone speak on yesterday, and it was good, better, best. And I was like, ooh. So the whole quote, I write, start, if you don't journal, if you don't write things down, even if you put it in your phone, because a lot of people are electronic now, I write, but type up stuff really quickly. That way, you have your phone there. You can pull out when you feeling like a certain way and get yourself back on track. That's how you press past adversity. When adversity comes, have something that you can go to remind you that you have this. Okay. The third thing for advancing and pressing past adversity, mentorships. Find you a mentor, someone that will help you, someone that will guide you, someone that is maybe doing what you want to do, been there, done that type of thing. There's so many groups out there. There's Facebook groups. I have the Motivational Moments with TDA Facebook group, and it's there to help motivate you throughout the day. It may have a one or two motivational moments where during your meditation time you can play that and it'll have a quote and an affirmation. But find yourself a mentor, someone that you can talk to, go to, seek advice from. And then the last two, remember I told you I had three. Those were the main three. Those were the main three. So let me go back. Let me remind you the main three, because I'm getting ready to tell you what you're gonna get at the end, okay? So the first is affirm yourself. The second is acknowledge your fears and then throw them away. Okay, we shoot the ball with them. Advance past adversity. Now, is the next one is ask for help. A lot of times people don't ask for help. Ask for help. If you don't know, don't be ashamed to ask for help, because a lot of you said that the reason you don't step out is because you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know how to do it, or you don't know all the steps. When it was time for me to start my podcast and I started, I asked for help. I was like, hey, how do you start a podcast? I went and got information on my own, but sometimes you need some help to, hey, what does this mean? Ask for help. Have an accountability partner, someone that when you start slipping, and like, for instance, January, a lot of times people say, oh, I want to lose weight, right? I know I do. Every January. Every January, I start a new diet. It, that's just what I do. By spring break, I lose a good amount of weight. And then after the spring break, I put it back on. Okay. Don't judge me. Okay. However, don't be ashamed to ask for help and have an accountability partner, because that partner will help you push through when things get tough. Because my friend would just come back and say, hey, you want to still be teaching 5 years from now? And I'd be like, no, 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 I don't. So let me keep going. Let me keep going. Do you want to still be just in the classroom? No, no, no. So then that makes me, let me get up, let me do these videos, let me do these quotes, let me do these, have somebody there that's going to have your back. That's why you need to check your circle, okay? And then the last one is act on your goals. All right? Act on your goals. Now, acting on your goals are going to be a couple of things. First thing is set goals that you really want to achieve. Don't put down goals that you're like, oh, I'm put this down just because I feel like I need to put this down. No, no, no. Set a goal that is something like, for instance, 1 year, and I have it right here. I'm gonna pull it up. I told you I write everything down. This is from 2023. And 2023, oh, we're at the end of 2024. This is the beginning of 2023. And at the beginning of 2023, I wrote a lot of goals down. But be specific in your goals, because if you just say, oh, I want to get money, here go $5. You got some money. Oh, I want to make more money. Here's a 1% raise. Okay, you made more money. But is that really what you wanted? Or did you want residual income coming in every single day? How much do you want? How often do you want it? How long do you want it? Okay, be specific. And then make a list. I do a list of 10 for me, because 10 is a good number, because I go like this. Okay, I want to try to achieve something every month. Some things may be bigger goals, some things might be smaller goals. But right now, what I want you to think about, we want to set goals, not limits. And we want to set goals that are going to stick. Here's your 3-step framework. First, be specific. Have a personal goal, maybe a professional goal, a health goal. Okay? Break it down. What are the many steps you'll take each month? Okay? Each month, you should be taking smaller steps to get you to the big goal. So let's say if you want to write a book. If you are interested in writing a book, every month you should be writing. Maybe you'll say, hey, I'll finish 2 chapters a month. Okay, you finish 2 chapters a month, you may have your book finished by the summertime, or it may be even faster. But now you have those mini steps that's going to get you to your big goal. And then number 3, accountability. Who will hold you to it? And that's where that accountability partner comes in. You share your goals with your accountability partner. Okay. Now, thriving isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about embracing life fully. What does your ideal 2025 look like? Right now, before we close your eyes and envision, where are you? Who's with you? How do you feel in 2025? Because I want us to thrive, not just survive. Think about where you want to go. Where do you want to travel? What are you doing? Okay? So 2025 is only 20 days away. Do you want to reflect on your wins, reset your mindset, and realign your goals? The real work begins now, and I challenge you. Let's thrive together in 2025. Now, I'm going to have a masterclass that's going to start January the 8th. It is a 4-week class, and in this 4-week class, we will be talking about mindsets, and we will be going through more details on how to thrive in 2025 with changing your mindset. All right. So before I close, I told you that I was going to giving away something for free, right? So, so let me go back. The master class, it starts January the 8th. It's going to be Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. And in this class, you are going to be doing some work. It's not just me talking, it is doing work, it is question and answer. It is whatever opportunities, whatever goals you're going for, I'll help you. I'll help you work through them. I'll help you get to them. The January is only $99. For those of you who join today, you get half off. So for only $49, you can round up for only $50. you will get a 4-week session, 4 sessions, okay? To where you are working with me and we'll be in a small group and it is Zoom. But with that being said, I am determined to help you achieve your goals in 2025 and get you started on the right track. Because remember, we want to finish 2024 strong, then we want to start 2025 even stronger. We're going to flex on them, okay, y'all? So if you have any questions, you can put your questions in the chat or you can ask anything you would like. We have a few minutes remaining.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Uh, how long are the classes going to be? Are they going to be, 1 hour, 2 hour, 5 hour classes, and are they available for replay so we can watch them at a later date, or offer them at another location as well? I know I'm asking a bunch of questions. Start with that.
No, no problem at all. Great questions, actually, because I did not answer that. So the classes are scheduled for 1 hour. However, if more than 1 hour is needed once we get started and once we get talking, the classes can go longer. However, the classes are scheduled for 1 hour. Now, replays will be available because once you register, I'll put the link in the chat for you all to register, and once you register, you will receive all of the dates, all of the Zoom links, and all of the notes. So there will be notes that you'll be able to download and you'll be able to keep for yourself. You will get affirmations, like I'm telling you about the affirmations you can speak and write down. You'll get a full list of affirmations, and it's like I said, Wednesdays. And then did I miss any of your questions? Replays, when, how long, what else?
Oh, well, I got a totally separate question if you don't mind me asking.
Okay.
So is this like general knowledge, or will you also be helping us with like specific stuff, like I want to learn how to be more confident talking to women and stuff like that? Can you help me with that as well?
Yes, it will be. So listen, like I said, at the beginning, I explained to everybody. I said I had a script, right? But it was like, hey, whatever direction we needed to go. So I will have the lessons mapped out for us because I want to always be ready, strategically ready. However, if you have specific questions that you need answered, because I know I have someone that asked about doing a podcast. So they would be able to join this masterclass and I would go over starting podcasting with that particular person. And it's going to be general knowledge, but the general knowledge that will help you with the specifics. And then if you would like personal coaching, I also do one-on-one personal coaching outside of the masterclass, and that's a separate expense. So that's a separate investment.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for asking. All right. And so just remember, everybody, if you did not put your name and your email in the chat, most definitely do that so I can make sure I give you the credit and the discount for joining tonight. Again, this is Tracy D. Armstrong, and it is all about striving. Did you have a question? I see somebody unmuted before I wrap up.
I didn't have a question. I just wanted to say thank you. I just joined, our group of people, and I just love every one of you guys because you give more information about, what we need to do to become better. And like you said, you got to surround yourself with those type of people. And so I also wanted to say, the master class, right? So like all the things you're talking about now, awesome, because I've been doing them and I've got so many goals, so many things that I've accomplished this year, just like you said, because kind of in the same circle here. And your like where you're going with the podcast and things like that, those are things I'm looking to do. So your masterclass will be a good place or a good start to help me get to where I'm going. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you. You are very, very, very welcome. And yes, and if I have, so let's say the masterclass is more, let's say the group is a lot more focused on creating podcasts, then we could adjust to the creating a podcast because I have a webinar out. It's on YouTube right now, podcasting 101. And so what I can do with everyone, if they want it, depend, like I said, I want the masterclass to flow according to what you all need. Because it's not about me, it's about giving to you all and what desires you have, goals you want to reach. Because, like I said at the beginning, as I was going through all the things that I look back and I was like, man, I achieved some stuff, done some things. I'm like, I want to help. I want to give back so that other people can do this also. So, which if it's writing a book, we can talk about books, we can talk about podcasts, and then we can go from there. And I'll still have all the other notes and things that will be available for you to download with the links that you'll get. All right. And the last thing is again the masterclass link. It is available in the chat. It is available in the chat. And also, I'm gonna put it back on the screen. Again, I thought I had a QR code. I'm like, where my QR code disappeared to? But I'll share it back on the screen. So if anyone needs to take a picture or Thrive in 2025 Growth Mindset Masterclass for those that are not able to see it. All right. I will most definitely put it in the chat before we get out of here. All right. Do we have any more questions? It's going in there now. And the other things I wanted to make sure I mentioned are you can follow me if you like the information that you got tonight. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and I also have my website is I'm making sure this is in there for y'all before we get out of here. www.tracy with an EY .d.armstrong.com and YouTube also.
Can you put that in the chat, please?
Yes, I will. If I can get this first thing in the chat. It's like I have the chat open over here. I told them earlier, I'm like, I have a lot of screens going on. Okay. And I'm looking at the emails. Let's see if I can even type in this. Okay, let me put it over here then. Here we go. And looks like I have y'all's emails. I'm gonna make sure that I send this all to you to make sure you get this information also. And here's chat. And I don't want to hold you all up, so I'm gonna make sure I email you the masterclass link. And for some reason, technology, when you need it to come through, they want to act up. It won't even let me type my name. All right. But thank you. And Ms. Dion, I have your email and I have Mr. Sunny, and I quit on the computer. Two computers, and neither one want to put it in the chat. All right. Thank you again, guys. Thank you for staying and hanging in there with me. And I will most definitely get you this information. And again, remember, we're going to end 2024 strong and start 2025 even stronger. Have a good one, y'all.